Hello, hello, hello. How is everybody today? Oh, my hair looks like crap. All right, well, who we got? Bud Files, hello, how are you? Jamie, Jamie's Country Living, good morning. Thank you for popping in. I thought today we would just do a normal chat before we get back to, oh, the essential homesteading skills thing and all that kind of stuff. Um, and to be honest, I had a hard time being motivated, I guess you could say, because I'm not really getting the kind of response I was hoping to get from the essential homesteading skills, but we're going to keep it up and we're going to just see what happens. So, Rita's Roost, hello. Jolene Cole, good morning, or afternoon, I guess it is. A couple of new names. That's good to see. Belt Loop, Gary, hello. How are you doing? So I have had a very, very busy weekend. You hear that lack of motivation? Yep. South Florida sunshine. Hello. Yeah, it's funny because when I go back and look at the analytics for my lives and stuff, I just I really have not been happy with the response that I've gotten. But then again, I have switched days around and all that kind of stuff, so it's kind of hard to tell what's going on for sure. So I'm going to go share you in our community. Cool, thank you. First time you've been here, but been sub for a while. Cool. Yeah, I recognize the names, just not in my lives. Gary, you're funny. So anyway, I had a very busy weekend. I know last week I posted getting that last existing garden bed, prepared, got the cardboard down, got the mulch inside or compost, whatever you want to call it, and then the soil on top of that, and then the manure mixed in the top layer, and all that fun stuff. Can't stay long, hubby, through gates today. When he calls, I drop everything and run. I hear you. I don't have property, but I do have several gates, and when my husband has the mower out or is doing certain things, it's the same thing around here. So anyway, I'm just glad you stopped in for however long you can. I appreciate it. So anyway, it was nice to have that bed done. Then this weekend, I have been working on, Ashley, hello. I have done juicing and jelly making and more juicing. I've done strawberries, cherries, blueberries, Concord grapes, and made a peach pie out of peaches from our tree. Sure, the timing is hard with lives and our actual life, so get it. Yep. Yep, it's been tough. And like I said, I'm not sure if I'm entirely happy with this time slot. I'm still trying to figure out what's going to work best for me, but it'll get there. For now, I'm trying to do the live on Monday, a garden or orchard or, whatever you want to call it, type video on Wednesdays, and then some sort of a preserving video on Fridays. That is the goal. So getting ready for work, so chat may be a little hit and miss for a few. That is perfectly fine, Gary. I appreciate you being here. So anyway, yeah, I'm actually, by the time I get done with this, I will have about 2 hours before I get ready to leave for work. So, but like I said, my days off are on the weekend, and we constantly are making plans for things to do on the weekend, and it's too hard to do my lives when we're trying to still have a regular life. So, but anyway, so today was just going to be Homestead Aquarius. Hello. Today is just going to be a nice little chat. We'll see where it takes us. And I'm trying to get some ideas on things. I mean, it's kind of like doing the homesteading skills part. I'm trying to get some ideas for some other topics to discuss in the lives. So I have a list going of a couple things, But anyway, right now it's just recouping from yesterday. Yeah, right now it's just the garden is going crazy. Finally, it's kind of nice. I have planted my regular Blue Lake, I think it is, vining green beans on one end of my trellis, and then I planted some of the golden wax beans next to it, and of course those are bush variety. But the golden ones are producing actually quite a bit right now. I picked enough that the other day I made for dinner, and I boiled them for just a few minutes to get them most of the way done, and then I sauteed them in butter, salt, pepper, and garlic, and oh my goodness, were those good. So now I've started, and I throw them in a baggie till I have enough to, process some or have for dinner or whatever it is we decide that we're going to do. But anyway, so I got those producing. I have some tomatoes that are, this big, but it's just nice to see those. The cucumbers that I have had to replant, 4 times, 5 times, are about that big now. So that's nice. Where to begin? Homestead, hello. Yes, kind of. I used to do my lives on Saturdays, but it was interfering with, we were constantly making plans to do things on the weekends, and it was making it hard to keep up with the lives that way. So even though I work through the week, I don't go to work until 3 o'clock or leave at 3 o'clock my time. So I decided that I would start doing my lives during the week. And this was, I put a poll out there, didn't really get any response, not much anyway to it. So Monday was the only day that had more than one vote. So I decided to try this time slot and see how it goes. I don't know if I'm happy with it yet, but we're going to try it. If it doesn't work out, then we'll try one of the other days. But this is what we're doing for now. So, Suburban Hillbilly, thank you for coming in. Anybody else? No. Yes, smash the thumbs up, please. Please and thank you. How many hours? A bunch, Gary. I feel like I'm probably going to have 2,000 subscribers before I hit my watch hours. Because I'm at my year, over a year, and so hours are dropping off. I mean, I'm still gaining some every day, just not enough. I mean, I still need like 1,900 watch hours. So yeah, about 1,900 watch hours to go. And so again, I feel like it's going to take forever. So I'm trying not to focus on that, and we'll see what happens. Just let it go naturally. So anyway, that's what's going on there. So if anybody wants to run my playlist, please feel free, because I really do need the watch hours. But watch hours started over completely. Yeah. DJ still hasn't hit his. I mean, I've been pretty happy with my progress, especially, let's see, June 6th. June 6th was my 2-year anniversary from when I put my first video up. But the first almost year was very hit or miss, inconsistent, really no clue what I was doing. Was trying to do some research and all that kind of stuff. I mean, I posted, and it's funny because most of my best performing videos, I have like 5 of them now that are, I guess, what you would call evergreen, because they are videos from over a year ago that constantly every day is my most viewed videos. So right here, next, almost done. Yeah. And Gary, if you're going to play it again, you better play it on one of your channels, because it won't count if it's been 45 days. Yeah, Saturdays are hard for a lot of people. So anyway, that's, yeah, 12 in the room. Actually, that's pretty good for me for, this is my, third? Is it my third Monday, or is it only my second? I think it's my third Monday. And, I only had like 5 the first couple of Mondays. So I'm happy with that. That's fine. And I actually get a lot more replay hours normally than I do live hours. So that's okay too. But anyway, so my point is, I mean, I didn't even hit 100 subscribers until February of last year. And then, I don't like dwelling on everything, but we've talked about the circumstances, with the mother-in-law and then the stepson, and then, my husband's had 3, 4 surgeries, 2 on his eyes, open heart surgery, stent placement. There's been a lot going on over the past year that has made it so that I have not been able to be as consistent as I would like to be as far as posting videos. So I'm trying to get better on that. And, I've actually done pretty good. Not what I would like to do, of course, but definitely getting there. I'm trying to lower my expectations and be realistic on what I can do. So, what else? Start slow, picks up. You would do great, Janet. How about using like a StreamYard for guests? Yeah, I'm using StreamYard, and I have thought about, you know, I'm always offering for people to come up if they want to come up, once we kind of get through the normal, anywhere from 15 to 30 minutes of stuff that's going on. I just don't usually get anybody who wants to come up. So kind of makes me think, is anybody really going to want to, come up on panel for, to be a guest or whatever. So I don't know. I'm still working on that, but, you know, oh yeah, the whole freezer fiasco. Yes. Everybody in the chat could play the playlist tonight, overnight. It would take a nice chunk out of what she needs, please and thank you. Yes, it would, Gary. But I've posted about watch hours. I've mentioned it several times, and I don't want to seem like I'm, begging or beating a dead horse or any of that kind of stuff. So co-streaming, yes, I have thought about it, but I kind of feel like I almost, there are pros and cons to it. I kind of feel like I need to have or something that is the co-streaming that's going on. But I don't know. I'm figuring it out. Be careful through community tab. Heard YouTube is cracking as doing. Yeah, they really put packages to get monetized. Yeah. Did a lot of lives when I was trying. It only took me about 3 weeks to hit that. Well, yeah. Everybody talks about how much the lives help, but I'm going to be honest with you. Let me pull this over here where I can see it. My videos, content. If I look at my last, well, let's look at the last, say, 3 lives first. And the last one, which was the part 3 on my essential homesteading skills, there wasn't a whole lot of people in to begin with. So there was, 2.2 hours after the live stream was over, but altogether, that one has only had 4.9 hours. But if I go and look at my last videos, the last one I did, which was last week, well, that one's only 1.6. That's only had 41 views. I didn't really get a lot of response on that one. And see, the one before that was 4.3. I don't know. It just seems like I don't think my lives are doing as well as everybody says their lives do. So that was part of the reason why I started doing the essential homesteading skills, having a series with a subject to talk about each week, instead of just sitting around like this talking about nothing and whatever, But, will you be up Tuesday night and around midnight Central Time? So come on up on panel and co-stream. Yeah, I work on Tuesdays, so by the time I get home, I'm usually, I'll watch one show with my husband and then we go to bed. So 11 hours a day to be monetized in 365 days. Yeah. Worried about being monetized. I'm not worried. Depends too on if you do giveaways, have games and prizes. Yeah, yeah. Now see my giveaway for my collaboration, that live was a whole different story because, first of all, it was an hour and a half and had 140 views. So let's see, the actual watch time on that one was 34 hours. So compared to what my others do, that's really, really good for me. I'm not saying you were worried. No. Our videos, they are just your normal gardening homesteading videos. So just do your thing. Yeah. Well, that's pretty much what I've kind of settled. It's not the right word. It really doesn't bother me too much. I'm just letting things happen as they happen. I'm doing what I do. I'm doing it the way that I do it. I'm not going to change and try and be, you know, more dramatic or more, you know, more special effects or getting 15 different views of things. So I have to retake the same every 6 times. I'm not going to do all of that kind of stuff. That's just not me. That's not the type of stuff that I do. What you see is what you get, and I would rather it go much, much slower. And the people who are joining are people who genuinely like to watch my content or me for who I am. Um, and it ended up taking longer. That is perfectly fine with me because I don't want to be something that I'm not or different than I would normally do them. So here you go, double dog. Um, yep, yep. That's exactly it, Jamie. I don't want to have to be doing crazy stuff or, you know, it just is what it is. This is what I do. It, and I'm sorry. I noticed, like, I was talking about the stuff that I did this weekend. So I had strawberries that I had juiced and then just processed the juice till I could get to it later because my husband likes strawberry, but he doesn't like the seeds. So anyway, I had that juice, and then I had a bunch of cherries that somebody had given me, and I didn't have time to mess with them at the time, so I put them in the freezer. And then this weekend I juiced those, and then somebody gave me I think it was 3 quart-sized bags of blueberries that were already frozen when I got them. So I juiced those. Um, well, part of them I saved for jam. But anyway, my point is, I was trying to, because I needed to get all those things done this weekend. I'm filming each one of those, each sections, and I'm noticing that a lot of it, I mean, it's kind of the same thing. When you steam juice strawberries, you use the same exact process to steam juice cherries and to steam juice blueberries. I mean, it's the same process. So I feel like sometimes I have the same content going over and over again, but at the same time, that's what I'm doing. This is what I do. This is how I do it, and I can't help that. So, you know, Ed's Crazy Adventures. Hello. I know I saw you earlier and I forgot to say hello because I was busy talking as usual. Um, but yes, I'm just gonna be me, and it will happen when it happens. That's pretty much how I feel about it. So, and like I said, I've been pretty happy with the progress. You have to remember, I was not very tech savvy. I mean, I kind of am, but kind of not when it came to the whole YouTube thing, I had no clue what I was doing. I did not know how to edit videos at all. I was not comfortable being on camera. I'm still a little bit uncomfortable, but not as bad as I was in the beginning. Didn't know how to be on camera and, you know, trying to figure out thumbnails and, posting schedules and just things to talk about and all that. All of it is new to me. And then, of course, can't afford the good equipment. So I started off with just my phone. And then my husband got me a cheap camera. Um, I say cheap, I think it was $189 or something like that, um, that I use somewhat. But, and that's what I'm still using today. I can't afford to buy anything better. So I make do with what I have. So, I just considering I've had to learn everything from the start, I'm pretty happy with how it's gone. So, still, yeah. And see, here, here's my thing. I'm sitting here, and, we had like what 12 or 13 people, and then now all of a sudden we dropped to 9, and so sometimes I know people go in and out. I know that. But then in the back of my head, I start thinking, okay, people don't want to hear what I'm talking about. So do I need to talk about something different? Or is it just because, they have a life like I do and they had things to do, I just, that's what goes through my head in trying to figure this out sometimes. So, uh, he is phenomenal, is what I really meant. Yeah. I tend to think of YouTube analytically. Yeah. 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 Yep. So, anyway, enough about all of that, I think. I wasn't sure what we were going to be talking about today, other than just, what I've been working on, which only takes about 5 minutes to tell. So, um, yeah, Gary, I have thought about that too. And like I said, right now I want to get through um, the essential homesteading skills that I already had pretty well planned out. I want to get through that one first. And I think when I start on the next subject, I'm going to try and do something where I can have somebody each week join me to talk about that topic. So, anyway, yes, I know people get busy this time of year. I know that, you know, I really do know that, but it doesn't change the fact that my mind, starts going, oh no, they don't like me. Even though for the most part, I don't care, you can't be so worried about that. Like I said, it goes back to just being me. I have to just be me. And if you like it, fine. And if you don't, well, that's fine too. Yeah, yeah, yep, yep. Just trying to keep up with chat. I don't want to miss anything important. This is a busy time on East Coast, right before dinner too, and when it's not as powerful. So maybe drop the live stream back to match lunchtime on the East Coast. Well, let's see. Lunchtime on the East Coast would make it like 9 o'clock in the morning for me. And I have thought about that. That would, I mean, it would solve a lot of problems, except my husband and I do everything that we do first thing in the morning. So if we have to go to the store, if either one of us has doctor's appointments, if we have, I mean, any of that kind of stuff, I go out first thing in the morning to water the garden and collect the eggs and any of that kind of stuff is done first thing in the morning. So I don't think I could actually. I can't commit to starting that early because if we have doctor's appointments and you know grocery store and running around or any of that kind of stuff, then my lives start getting messed up again anyway. So that was the whole reason why I had to go with like a 12 o'clock spot. For me, it's 12 o'clock, is because we always have things going on in the morning and then I work in the evening. So I needed that spot right in the middle where I knew that I could hopefully, for the most part, not have interruptions to that. Gardening and canning this time of year. Yep. Just eating. Yeah. Yep. I totally agree with everything. And Gary, you're right. Focus on the things that you can change. But again, goes back to I don't want to change too much. I don't want to change anything to the point that I'm not being me anymore. That's just I don't want to do that. Check 2 times a day for eggs. Yeah. Right now, we have a bunch of slackers, and the younger ones that we got, still got about a month or so before they start laying eggs. So right now, there's not a whole lot going on where the eggs are concerned. Yes, scheduling is the hardest. I mean, when I was doing my lives before during the week, way before, was on Wednesdays, and I liked the time slot, but there's a lot of people on Wednesdays, a lot of competition that in the people that I know and watch and that are part of my community. There's just an awful lot going on Wednesdays. So I didn't want to go back to that. Yes, the titles, topics, thumbnails, those are the things I think that I'm trying to focus on right now as far as getting better. We'll see. Came back, went all the way to the back 40 and home again. uh, thanks, Gary. I appreciate it. Uh, so, anyway, I really wasn't intending to talk about this. I didn't want it to become a complaint session or, you know, yeah, Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays, very, very packed, which is another reason why I kind of opted for Mondays. So, the turnout will probably get better even if I stay in this time slot as I continually stay in this time slot. So, you know, that's all I can do is hope that it gets better each time. And like I said, next week we will go back to finishing up the essential homesteading skills. We're not finishing it up. It'll be what, episode 4, I think, part 4 out of 5 or 6. Can't remember. Anyway, so we will continue that next week. And like I said, I'm going to start thinking of some ideas for things after that, and then possibly getting people up here with me to talk about those topics. So the geese are ornery and noisy as ever, as you can tell. It's kind of frustrating sometimes trying to do the garden update or, just to sit out there and take you guys along with me while I'm, picking the green beans and things like that and watering and whatever. Because if I talk, then the geese start squawking. That's just the way it is. And they are so loud. Um, it's a little easier now that I have the lavalier mic, so I can turn my back to them, and most of the I mean, you can still hear them, and they're still kinda loud, but at least my voice is louder too. So it makes it a little easier, but it is really hard to do any filming out in the garden area because of the geese. So, um, and as far as the new bed goes, I did plant some, cabbage seeds because I want to make some more sauerkraut. I've only done it twice, and I absolutely love the home done sauerkraut. So I want to do that. Yeah, those geese are just something else. And then trying to collect eggs the last 3 or 4 days, one of the nesting boxes has had the same. I have one Buff Orpington that is consistently broody. Anytime I've ever hatched out eggs, she was the one that did it. Um, but she has been sitting in one of the nesting boxes and she will not move at all. I mean, I try and I can't stick my hands in there because she will attack my hands because I'm disturbing her. So I try and use objects to push her out of the way, and she won't budge. So I may end up with some more baby chicks, which I really don't want because I end up with too many roosters. My goose is a son who's definitely a definition of a boy. Noise with dirt on it. That's funny. Yeah. So anyway, yeah, the geese are doing well. They're just ornery and noisy. And we're down to the 3 ducks now, which all 3 of them are male. So we are going to have to determine what we're going to do there because there's no point in having them if we're not at least getting some eggs from them. So we have to figure that part out now. um, the chickens are doing great. Um, and as I said, all of the young ones that we have gotten this year should start laying eggs within the next month or so. So that's good because I'm not getting a whole lot of eggs right now. Some of my chickens are getting up there in age, and um, a lot of them are still laying. It's just not as many. So but at the same time, I say it's just the 2 of us. We have a guest for a little while. One of Gary's sisters is with us for a little while. She's trying to find something, and she'll be here until she does. So there's 3 of us now, but still, we don't consume a lot of eggs. So start handing out dresses. Yeah, yeah. I think that's what we're trying to figure out is if we want to get a couple more females or get rid of them. Don't really know yet. So anyway, we will figure it out. Just there's a lot. My husband has been slowly getting back into um, being able to do the yard work and stuff. I mean, he does it, but it's a slow process because he tires out easy and all that right now. Uh, so it's a little at a time. Go out, do something for 30 minutes to an hour, and then he's got to come back in the house and rest for 30 minutes to an hour. And, it's a back and forth thing. Plus, he's always got like 15 projects he's working on at the same time, which doesn't help. so, um, so any of that kind of stuff that needs to be done is slow go because I have an awful lot on my plate already. I really can't add too much of the stuff that he normally does to my plate. So I do what I can, but cross-dressing chicken. Yeah, gardening warrior Q. Hello. Uh, yeah, we were talking about the fact that I only have 3 ducks left, and they are all 3 male. So we have to figure out if we're going to get them some females or if we're going to get rid of them. And so then, there was talk about throwing a dress on them. So anyway, yep. So like I said, next week we'll get back to the essential homesteading skills. I'm going to have, like I said, my plan is lives will be on Mondays. Wednesdays will be the something gardening, be like the update for the global gardening homestead community thing, but also just showing what the garden's doing, or picking things or problems they may be having, or whatever that has to do with the garden, the fruit trees, that kind of stuff. Maybe even the animals, who knows? And then Fridays will be some sort of preserving of some sort, whether it be canning or dehydrating or something. So you're either kidding, girlfriends or freezer camp. uh, got some young roosters trying to decide what we're doing. Yep, 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 yep. Uh, identify as a cat and answer with meows. Yep, that's about right. Oh my goodness. Well, I'm kind of glad I decided to keep this one just chatty and lighthearted and all that fun stuff. But I do have to figure out some topics that we will get to. But anyway, I do appreciate all of you guys who are consistently here with me through the ups and the downs and all of the different changes that I keep making. Um, just trying to settle into a schedule that works. So, and a lot of stuff that is um, getting back to normal, I guess I should say. The normal routine for, going out to the garden and tending the chickens and, all of that stuff is all kind of going back to normal again. So thank you, Jamie. I do appreciate you being here. You've been here from the beginning and you are always here. And I do appreciate that very much. Da, da, da. They do not meow. That's good, or they may need a therapist as well. Yep, 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 yep. So anyway, don't really know what else to talk about. Unsure of this normal you speak of. My husband and I were talking the other day, and he made a comment about getting back to normal or whatever. And the first thing I said back to him was, yeah, but I'm kind of afraid that this is our new normal. So, you know, it's hard to, what is normal? Because normal changes on a daily basis. And besides, who wants normal? It's boring. Normal is only a setting on one's dryer. Yes. Actually, it's a setting on my washer, too, believe it or not. All right. Well, I think that's pretty much it. We've almost taken up the hour. Um, I'm gonna go ahead and post the link. If anybody wants to come up, you can. But if not, that's okay too. You get double normal then. Yeah. It really has been a very interesting year. I mean, a lot of downs and a lot of things going on, but a lot of ups too. And yeah, I'm working hard at um, like adding the second layer of cinder blocks to the garden, doing permanent trellises, doing all of those things to make each year easier and easier. Number one, I'm not a spring chicken. I, I am getting up there in age, and some of that gets to be a lot of work. Um, so we try and do things that are um, a little more permanent, don't require as much maintenance each year. Spirit eating rainbow fish today. So anyway, I think I'm gonna go ahead and call it here. And I do appreciate all of you guys who stopped in, and for all of you guys who continue to support me through all of it. I really do appreciate you guys, and you don't know how much. So look for some videos this week. Um, I will have something, a garden update on Wednesday. Friday's video is a preserving video, but I am in the Jam It Up June collaboration hosted by Kettle Kitchen and Blue Self-Reliant. So that is the video that will be posted on Friday. That's my date. So be looking for that. And thank you so much. And anyway, look for those videos, and I will see you back here next week, same time, where we will continue our essential homesteading skills talk and go from there. So thank you again, and I hope I see you guys next time.